Mage is often considered one of the worst classes or the worst class. Most people commonly agree that Mage is useful, but not as useful as a player playing as Fighter or Paladin. Will this be proven to be true, or will Mage be proven pointless? Mage has big stats of both positive and negative. Mage gives plus 300% max mana, plus 2 mana regain and minus 65% magic cooldown. The negatives are minus 80% melee damage besides sword damage, which is minus 70% and minus 80% armor. Mage sacrifices basically everything for mana and spell speed. As usual, I will look at each stat separately. Stat 1, max mana. This is the strongest part of Mage. This allows you to be able to do more spells than any other class by a lot. This mana reserve allows you to practically spam spells like triple magic missiles. Stat 2, mana regain. This is the second strongest part of Mage. Not only do you have a massive amount of mana, but also recover the mana much faster. If you run out of mana, it will not be that long before you have a large amount again. Stat 3, spell cooldown. This is the weakest positive stat, but is still highly useful for mainly 5 spells. Heal, magic missiles and lifesteal. Heal and lifesteal are spells that do a lot but have long cooldowns. The spell cooldown being lower makes them highly powerful. You cannot spam triple magic missiles even faster, and it's great at stopping the enemy team from being able to fly. Stat 4, melee damage. This affects the class negatively significantly. When an enemy gets up close, you either have to run away or grab out a bow, which won't work out well because of the other negative stat. This basically makes your melee weapons useless. You might think it's not a deal because you have magic missiles and fireballs. Magic missiles only do high amounts of damage on flying players, and if you mainly use them you will run out of mana fast. Fireball does splash damage, but isn't as good as a good axe like the Flaming Fury. Stat 5, armor. This is the worst stat for Mage. You basically become a glass cannon, but without the cannon part. You're just glass. Anything does so much damage to you. Even captains and warlords are threats now despite being level 13 on beginner servers. This means that if the enemy gets close and hits you a few times, you're fucked. The more damage you take, the slower you are, and only 3 spells will help you in the situation. The most effective way to play Mage? This is a new part 1 I'm adding to this video, because Mage has the most options when it comes to how to play. I tried basically everything and I found the best way to play is to be a supportive player. Heal teammates and NPCs, chip enemies from far away, weaken them when fighting against one of your teammates, and especially heal the general. The demon farmers don't like that, but it's a public server. Conclusion. Mage is only good at support. With no players or NPCs around, the class is mostly useless. I will give the Mage a 4 out of 10. The Mage is actually very overpowered as a supportive class, but you get close to no XP for that, and you can't do shit by yourself unless you want to troll people. Mage should not cost the same amount of Roblox as every other class. I think the best way to balance Mage is to decrease the melee damage and armor debuffs to the same as archers.